The small town of Willow Creek had always been a quiet place, nestled in the heart of a dense forest. Its residents were used to the occasional sightings of deer and raccoons, but recent whispers of a menacing presence had everyone on edge. Hunters spoke of strange tracks, larger than any bear they had ever seen, and eerie growls that echoed through the woods at night. One chilly autumn evening, a group of friends, Jake, Emily, and Matt, decided to go on a camping trip, dismissing the rumors as nothing more than local folklore. They packed their gear and set off into the forest, eager to escape the monotony of their everyday lives. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the tall trees closed in around them, casting long shadows in the fading light. By nightfall, they had set up camp in a small clearing. The fire crackled warmly, and they laughed and told stories, the flickering flames dancing in their eyes. But as the night grew darker, the forest around them seemed to grow quieter, as if holding its breath. Suddenly, a distant, guttural growl broke the silence. The friends froze, their laughter dying on their lips. Emily glanced nervously at Jake. What was that? Probably just a coyote, Jake replied, though he didn't sound convinced. Matt stood up, his eyes scanning the darkness beyond the firelight. I'm going to check it out. Stay here. Are you crazy? Emily hissed. We should stick together. But Matt was already grabbing his flashlight. I'll be back in a minute, he said, disappearing into the shadows. The minutes ticked by, each one feeling like an eternity. Emily and Jake sat in tense silence, the night air growing colder around them. Then, the growl came again, closer this time, followed by a bone-chilling scream. It was Matt. Jake jumped to his feet. We have to find him. Emily grabbed his arm. Wait, Jake. What if it's... Stay here, Jake ordered, his face pale. He picked up another flashlight and plunged into the darkness, calling out Matt's name. Emily sat alone by the fire, her heart pounding. The forest seemed to close in around her, the trees whispering secrets she couldn't understand. The growls grew louder, now accompanied by heavy footsteps. Emily clutched a large stick, her only means of defense. Just as she felt she could bear the tension no longer, Jake burst back into the clearing, his face ashen. Emily, we have to go, now. Where's Matt? She demanded, but Jake just shook his head, his eyes wide with fear. They grabbed their backpacks and ran, stumbling through the dark forest. The growls and footsteps followed them, relentless. Branches scratched at their faces, and roots threatened to trip them with every step. As they broke through the tree line, the moonlight revealed a horrifying sight. A massive bear, larger than any they had ever seen, with eyes that glowed an unnatural red. It reared up on its hind legs, roaring with a sound that seemed to shake the very ground. Run! Jake shouted, pushing Emily ahead of him. They sprinted towards the edge of the forest, the monstrous bear crashing through the underbrush behind them. Just as Emily thought they would be caught, they burst out onto the main road, the lights of Willow Creek visible in the distance. The bear stopped at the tree line, its glowing eyes watching them as they fled towards safety. Emily and Jake didn't stop running until they reached the town, collapsing in a heap at the edge of the first street. The townspeople found them there the next morning, exhausted and terrified. No one doubted their story, not after seeing the fear in their eyes and the fresh, deep claw marks in the trees at the forest's edge. The legend of the bear in the woods grew, and the people of Willow Creek learned to heed the warnings of strange tracks and growls in the night. As for Matt, he was never seen again, a grim reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the safety of the town's lights.